That is Arcade Fire and Joan of Arc, and Craig Walker and John Byrne have arrived in the studio. Tell us about the Philippines Disaster Relief Fund, Rock and Roll Heart in a moment. We're just going to go to an ad break. I'm just Usher. I'm trying to relax you both. Relax you into the studio and say you're both looking very well. There is one quick question for you, Craig.
Yeah.
Does Craig still have the dreads? Loved Second Son EP, and there I go again.
No.
You don't really have the dreads.
No.
Did you have dreads?
I did.
How did you have dreads?
There's a story to that. The record company that we were signed to at the time thought I needed to spice my image up.
They actually said, get dreads.
Well, they said, do something. So what the guy said, well, maybe go for dreads.
Did you ever see Tom York with the hairstyles the record company recommended?
Yes. Yeah, I remember I saw them in the Rock Garden.
How different it could have been. If he'd stuck with those hairs, they could have been the new Europe.
If only.
Bon Jovi, eat your heart out.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you. And were you happy with dreads?
Not particularly, no. Although, no, I probably did think it was cool, but I was living in London at the time, so it was
loads of dreads then.
There was loads of dreads there.
No, I'm walking to town. No dreads there.
I remember arriving back from London with the dreads for the first time.
How was that?
My mother wasn't. She really had a heart attack.
Did you go for a pint?
Probably.
How did that go?
Not too good.
Oh, you. Alright. Is Craig Walker going to be on soon? I need to go to sleep. Paradreams, best Irish band ever.
Is that Mick Lennox?
I don't want to get a debate on that. And Craig's such a gent, can't wait to see Mineral Live and more pod gigs. Do you still do pod gigs?
Occasionally, very occasionally, like anniversaries.
Yeah.
Weddings, funerals,
as usual. Right. We have to get a quick ad break out of the way, and they're going to be back with Tales of the Road.
Yes.
Craig. Now, just gone 29 minutes past 11. I mentioned Rock and Roll Heart in Age of the Philippines Disaster Relief Fund. It's taking place in Whelan's tomorrow night. Tickets are €10, which I think is an incredibly small price on the door. And organisers Craig Walker and John Byrne are joining me now. Craig, if I can start with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you back, straight back.
Of course.
The dressing room, possibly, I'm not sure of the venue. Could have been McGonagall's.
Right.
Could have been the Bagot.
Right.
All I know, there was a band called Paradreams,
right,
helping itself that something happens wrong, like it was going out of style.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Did you think you'd get away with it?
After all these years, I thought I had.
Did you not know this reckoning was going to come one day?
Well,
one day.
I owe you a point or two.
Ray was saying, look at them stealing the beer. I said, don't worry, I'll get them.
It was a familiar tale back then.
I have to say, in those days, you were still in school.
Yeah.
And there was a little bit, when you were coming into the dressing room, there was a little bit of looking after you, I have to be honest, right? Because you were so young and you were so enthusiastic.
Yeah.
When you went on and got a record deal and did well, we were delighted.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
But since then, it's gone to another level, hasn't it? What's been going on in France?
I was in a band called Archive for 5 or 6 years who were from London. I was living in London at the time, and they're really big in France. And I did 4 albums with them and did a lot of touring throughout Europe and played huge gigs and big festivals, and it was great. And from after that, I started working a lot in France as a writer, working for other people, writing for other people, working on soundtracks and blah 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 blah.
That sounds like the dream.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people didn't get, you know.
Yeah. No, it's been great, really great. There's no security in it, but you know.
But has it been your number one employment? It's been what you do.
Yeah, since
congratulations.
Thank you.
That is brilliant.
Thank you.
And all in France. So here, you've been relatively not much about it.
Not much at all. I moved back to Dublin from London 6 years ago, and I've done no work here at all. So I've kind of been back and forwards to France, and now, like, the first record that's with Mineral, this band has just come out on McGee's label, and so it's beginning to pick up a little bit here. I think we're gonna.
What's the connection with Alan McGee? The founder of Creation Records and the man who signed Oasis.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
Yeah.
Because he was in the studio. He did Back to Mine with me 2 weeks ago.
I had dinner with him just before he came here.
And his third choice of music was you.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
What's the connection with them?
Alan goes back a long way. Paradreams, he nearly signed us back in the day. And then we went on tour with the House of Love, who he was managing when we were, as you said, like kids. And we stayed in touch with Alan, and when I was living in London, he had Death Disco, his club night, and we were mates. We became good mates, and then he'd come to Dublin. I put him on here for a couple of nights DJing, and we went to Greece DJing together. And Alan's brilliant. He's just totally a one-off, And
he's just, to me, he just comes across as a real music fan.
Absolutely.
Number one is it.
Yeah.
If he hadn't been doing this, he just would have been listening to albums in his bedroom. It's his love.
Passionate.
And somehow he seems to have the knack for. For him, it seems to be obvious when he sees something like Oasis on stage.
Yeah.
For him, it's obvious.
Yeah.
They're going to be massive. For other people, they see other things.
And if you heard the demos, I mean, I've heard the Oasis demos and for the first album, and honestly, you wouldn't have thought. I mean, I was like, wow, just didn't.
God.
But he so as you said, he's got that.
He sees it. Yeah, incredible. And he sees that in you, which is be a nice feeling.
Yeah.
So what's the story on this band, Mineral?
Our first album has just been released. It's me and 3 guys from France. And we do all the work in Paris, the studios in Paris. And we finished the record, and it's out now. It's in stores now. Plastic Acrostic. Get my plug in.
Beautiful, absolutely.
Available in HMV this week, I believe, and Extravision. And I'm really pleased with it. And we've had good reviews here. Irish Times have given us a good review. Hot Press. The Daily Star have given us good, so it's great.
Right, look forward to hearing. You're going to do a song from it in a minute.
No, we're doing a cover actually. We're going to do Perfect Day.
Because that ties in nicely, John, to the gig.
Indeed.
Which has, tell me about it. It has a Lou Reed theme.
So basically, Lou Reed passed away not too long ago, a few weeks back, and I was talking to Craig, and we were going to put on a gig in memory of Lou Reed, but also the devastating events that have taken place in the Philippines. We're going to try and raise a few bob for those guys. So
the extent of that devastation is unbelievable, isn't it?
It's frightening, and it kind of, I think it hit everybody. So there's lots going on in the city, so we're doing what we can. We got a great, it's called Rock and Roll Heart, a nice apt name. It's a Lou Reed album, and we've got some good guys on the bill.
Who have you got?
Well, back from Euroday as well, Dave McGuinness from a band called Lear. I believe you Something Happens to the gig with them.
I don't like the way he said back in your day. Did you find that a little bit? There was just something wrong there. Yeah, go on,
all we're missing is Something Happens from the bill, and then we'd have the
power night, isn't it?
And you're not working, so
yeah, and they need about 3 years notice to do anything.
With some young bands, the Blades Club, fantastic.
What's the Blades Club?
Yeah, check these guys out.
They want to change their name
because of the Blades.
Yeah,
I think their manager was talking to them, saying they're quite honoured by it. No, I think it's going all right. Cool. They just finished. They played their Hard Working Class Heroes. They're good. They're going to be doing I'm Waiting for My Man. I heard them do it, which is pretty rocking. So yeah, lots of people.
Great.
And there's a few special guests.
I know the woman who minds Joy, who minds Eva and Sky occasionally. She's from the Philippines, and her house is north of where this happened. But they have 10 families living in the house now, and she says we're relatively untouched. But her sister-in-law house has been destroyed, and she has a 3-month-old baby. Imagine trying to raise a 3-month-old baby in a tent. And they haven't had tragedy. They didn't lose anyone. But it's an incredible disaster. So that's tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Only €10 on the door.
Absolutely, yeah. That's we're hoping to stuff the place and just send a nice check over. So
great.
So
you're going to do Perfect Day now? I have to ask you a question before you do it, just in case when you do this, I go into a rhapsody and I forget to ask you, which could easily. Luke Ming Flanagan. He's a TD. Mm-hmm. He's listening. He initially came to prominence on a cannabis kind of ticket. He sent me a joint many moons ago.
Right.
Since then,
still have it.
Through his involvement in local politics, and particularly trying to preserve the rights of people to harvest turf, he's become very involved, and other issues. Now I don't want to do him a disservice. Other issues he's become involved. He's been elected to Dáil Éireann. He's in Dáil Éireann, but he says, "Does Craig remember playing my 21st in Castlereagh in 1993?"
Yes, I do.
Craig's also going to politics and is now going to sing a song. Beautiful.
Just Just a perfect day. Drink sangria in the park. And then later, when it gets dark, we go home. Just a perfect day. Feed animals in the zoo. Then later, a movie too, and then home. Oh, it's such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, such a perfect day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on.
Just a perfect day. Problems all left alone. Weekenders on our own. It's such fun. Just a perfect day. You made me forget myself. I thought I was someone else, someone good. Oh, it's such a perfect day, and I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, such a perfect day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on.
You're gonna reap just what you sow. You're gonna reap just what you sow. You're gonna reap just what you sow.
That was absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Craig Walker and John Byrne. You can see them again tomorrow night in Whelan's in that gig for the Philippines. I've never really paid much attention to your voice before, Craig. Absolutely beautiful voice you have there.
Well, you're beautiful voice.
Let's not go down this road. I have another text for you now. Many years ago, I had the pleasure of teaching Craig's younger brother, Niall, in St. Peter's. Is that St. Peter's up in Walkinstown?
Yeah.
That's where all the lads went. That's where Alan and Eamon went from.
Did they?
Something Happens.
Oh, really?
My God, small.
And the house lads as well.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
A little hotbed of talent.